Are you a real estate agent who wants to sell homes consistently every month? Did your broker promise to guide you and let you down? Join DanRochon, who has sold 1 to 15 homes consistently every month for each of the past 129 months. Stay tuned as Dan shares fundamental truths and success principles of building a consistent real estate business. Thank you for joining DanRochon, and welcome to today's training.
Hello, rock solid agents. Today, I'm going to teach you how to hire a virtual assistant, how to train, lead, and motivate that virtual assistant to be able to support you for your success in real estate sales so that you can do the money-making activities that are going to be able to not only support you in your success, but also be able to provide your clients with the best care while exceeding their expectations, and to be able to allow for you to focus on the lead generation, the conversion, going on appointments, negotiating, description, role play, and all those things that are in your 20% that are going to drive your business forward so that we can leverage the 80% and have really great support through your virtual assistant staff. As a business owner, your business is only going to grow at the pace that you can increase sales, but at the same time, you've got to maintain a profit. So how do you do that? Well, one of the things that is a big challenge for real estate agents is how can I get the support to allow for me to do more business and at the same time maintain a profit, because it costs me a lot of money to be able to get the support that I need. And this has been something that I've coached a lot of agents in the past on. How can you thrive? How can you be able to succeed and be able to profit? And what my suggestion to you is to look virtually. There's great talent all across the entire planet. And when you're able to expand your network across the globe, you're going to be able to tap into talented people that are going to be able to support you for your success. Currently, my sales network, the Greetings Virginia Sales Network, currently we employ 11 virtual staff, plus we have a whole bunch of other people that support us, not necessarily on a full-time basis. I'm going to tell you about that. Now, most of our virtual staff, most of them have families. Most of them are heads of their households. They've been with us on an average of 3 years. And I've hired people since almost day one of when I started selling real estate 12 years ago. And I've had people to be able to support us, to be able to make phone calls for us, to be able to take care of our clients. Some things that I wanted to make sure that you realize, that as you consider to hire a virtual assistant, you want to make certain that they're going to be a good fit for you and your culture. And what I mean by culture is, how do you like to treat people? How do you want them to treat you? And some of the best people in the world are available to be able to do so virtually if you're willing to work with them, across video and that type of thing. Let's get into this. So first of all, you want to make sure that when you're hiring that they have a good connection on the internet, that they've got, an iPhone that they can call either using RingCentral or Google Voice or something like that. And some of the things that they can be able to help you with is clerical tasks, is primarily market data for reports, making advertisements, putting brochures together, designing websites. There's all kinds of SEO, putting the property listings in the MLS, doing your CMAs for you, doing classified ads, social media. These are some of the things that we have our virtual staff help us with, answering telephones and even doing bookkeeping. Now, the best way to be able to work with your virtual staff is to do so on video and on the telephone. You should be, communicating at the highest level that you can. And it would help if you were approachable and if you were committed to your virtual staff's learning process. You have to remember, they're going to, at least for us, our staff, they have ambitions, they have families, and you want to make sure that you're recognizing them as some of the very best talent in the world, and really just, like you would anybody else. Like if you and I were working together, you would want me to be able to respect you as a person and be able to really, take care of you in a manner that makes you important, because you are. So I'm going to switch my screen here and I'm going to show you some specific places so I can share my screen that you can be able to find that talent. Now, to be able to go ahead and find your virtual staff, there's a lot of different things that you could do here. First of all, you can use My Outdesk, myoutdesk.com, that's up there. And this is something that you want to be able to use somebody or use a system where you don't have to do any work and they're going to go ahead and find everybody for you. This is a great system. The challenge that you have with this system is that, or with this resource, is that you're not going to have a lot of flexibility in regards to who you hire, because they're going to give you like, hey, here's A, B, and C candidate, and somebody else is going to hire them within a day if you don't hire them. The benefit to it is that you're going to be able to have help and training, because they do a great job. I used My Outdesk when they started years and years ago. I heard them on an interview with Gary Keller on something somewhere. And anyways, they are a really great resource. Now, we choose to be able to use our own people, and we find them through a couple different things. So Viva, HR consultants, Craigslist in Manila. We use Wise Hire as a resource there. Got virtualstaff.ph, and then of course got Upwork. So I want to tell you a little bit about our staff. I'll dive into that a little bit more. So the way that we're organized right now is we've got Julene Dela Cruz, who is our Director of Operations with the Greetings Virginia Sales Network. And she lives in the Philippines. She is responsible for keeping our business profitable. That's her. She's the director of profit. I just renamed her. She was the director of operations. She just got a promotion. Now, Julene, you're the director of profit. She is in the role of exceeding our clients' expectations. That's what her role is. Now, she actually lives in, I think it's called San Mateo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the Philippines. And Julene and her husband, Sev, they recently had a baby. It's not so recently anymore. It's probably Sabrina just celebrated her 1 year birthday. So she 1 year ago, a little bit more than 1 year ago. And so her name is Sabrina, and we actually call her Baby Boss because she really is the boss. And then Julene has an older daughter named Leah. And so working from home allows for Julene to care for her new child, and allows for her to be able to obviously stay employed full time. And most importantly, she's able to do something that she really loves to do. She's worked in various places across the world in the past. She has worked in Kuwait. She was in Kuwait for, I think, about 5 years or so. And she was a training manager for a restaurant, and she worked for a company for 5 years. And after that, she decided to go home to the Philippines. And so she went back home to the Philippines so she could be with her eldest daughter. And she started her career in business. So I met Julene about 1.5 years ago. I found Julene, I believe, I didn't bring it up here. I should have. Indeed.com. Indeed. And Indeed.com is a hiring website to be able to, to find employees. So when I found Julene, I hired her. Originally, she was a quality analyst. So meaning that she would overview, it was like a feedback loop on our team for the virtual assistant staff to make sure that they're doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. Quickly, she got promoted to an executive assistant, and then eventually to a director of operations. And then 3 minutes ago, a director of profit. Congratulations, Julene. There's no raise with that, but hey, we can talk that out later. Just teasing. All right, so Julene has really been a phenomenal part of our business, and she's been able to work in the capacity of director of operations. She has, again, 11 people or 10 people that she leads, and she has provided us the best support of anybody in the entire planet, including people in the United States that would sit side by side with me. Julene has been the best suited for that role, and just a blessing to me in my life, where she's got my back. She's got our business's back. She's got a teachable heart. She is a leader. She's who you would want to be working for. And when we have that heart to learn, we can receive the wisdom from others, from God. This is what Julene is really inspired to do. Her core values is taking care of people. And she really understands that no matter how great that you are, if you're not willing to learn and you're not open for improvement, you're not open to feedback, that you're not going to grow. And Julene helps me to grow as a leader. So finding somebody like Julene for your first hire that has keen attention to detail, it's going to be really, really important. So your first hire that I'm going to make a recommendation for is to get somebody to just sort of do day-to-day tasks. You want to make sure that they're going to do that accurately. You're going to want to make sure you get somebody like Julene, again, that's results-oriented, a self-starter, and they have the ability to work under pressure and to work independently, because this business, it is something you probably know. If you're a real estate agent, it can be pressure. So you're going to want somebody to be able to help you identify issues, obtain the relevant information that you need, and to be able to help compare that data and to be able to sort through it. And somebody, in my assessment, is somebody that is always seeking knowledge, and that they're mentally wired to be able to improve the efficiencies, to improve the systems that you have. Because you, as a real estate agent, your job's to sell. Right? You get paid to help a buyer, help a seller, help an investor to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate. You don't get paid to input stuff into the computer. So that's why finding somebody virtually such as Julene could be a great resource for you. So going back, I want to touch base before I talk to you about some of my other staff and go back and say, okay, where can we find them? Because Indeed is a great resource for that. but so is the Craigslist in Manila. And you could just basically jobs, whatever you're looking for, you can just put out the advertisements and you can hire. Then you can use a system like WiseHire, but you don't have to use WiseHire. That's something that will allow for you to see what their behaviors are, because you're looking for that person that's going to be able to provide you the most amount of support. There's a DISC test as well. So DISC is a behavior assessment that was done by Dr. Marston in the 1920s. He actually created Wonder Woman. He also created the lie detector test. So now you're going to be good to go on your next Trivial Pursuit bout. But anyway, so this is the DISC assessment here. It will help you to attract, to make sure that you're finding the right talented people. And you're looking for somebody. I mean, I want everybody that we work with to have a fair amount of dominance. If it's a scale of 1 to 10, you want pretty much even your administrative people to be about a 6-ish or so, and your salespeople higher than that, of course. And then for your administrative, you want to make sure that they're over there, the conscientious, the analytical, the diplomatic, precise, compliant, and objective right there. And many support staff are also going to have a high S. So they're going to be a team player, they're going to be patient, they're going to be stable and sincere. So if you're looking for like that ideal person, you're looking for somebody that's going to be a high CS with a moderately high D as a support staff. So that's, and the high D is something that I found through time that works for me, that's something that's unique to us. So let me tell you, so I mentioned to you about that we hire our own people and how we do that. One of the most important people that I ever hired in my life, besides Julene, the second, let's just not go into that. You're both very important. Okay. Is John. So John he's our director of hiring, right? And making sure that you're in business with talented people is really important. So about a year ago, I was having dinner in San Diego with a gentleman. He's the owner and the CEO of Viral Marketing, called Frank Kletz. And Frank looked across at me across the table and he's like, Dan, tell me about your business. And he's a brilliant guy, right? And so he suggested to me that I hire somebody, because at the time I had, I think, 5 or 6 virtual assistants, that I hire somebody to take charge of the recruiting and the selecting of our staff, as well as our agents, by the way. And from that conversation that Frank and I had, I implemented his suggestions, and that's where I met and I hired John Carlo Villamil. And so John has been with us for, about 7 or 8 months now. And he oversees our hiring, our training, our consulting, and really holding people accountable. So think of him as sort of like an HR director, but an HR director on steroids, because he is really somebody that's committed to our success. So he lives in Cebu, Philippines. And in fact, today, all of our virtual staff that work for us full time, the 11, all live in the Philippines. John, he's the oldest son, and he has a younger sister named Jessa, and Jessa lives in Australia. And when John grew up, he grew up in the Philippines, and his dad was always working, and his mom had left him, and he grew up poor. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And through that, he really developed some traits to understand, to be like, I understand that I'm going to create my own life. I'm going to create my own destiny. So what I did to find John was I posted an advertisement in the Manila Craigslist. And I said, hey, I'm looking for somebody to help us to hire people, to build fire inside sales agents, to help us to hire other administrative marketing people. And then I found John. So the way that we did that was we went through a recruit select process. I probably talked to way too many people, and way too many was probably around 100 people or so. And then we brought it down to about 5 finalists, and you were the lucky winner, John. And so we were able to hire John. So now John has an assistant named Queenie. And so there's 2 people that are in our hiring department today, and they probably go through about 200 or more resumes every single week. They go through about 5 interviews a day, video to video interviews. And as a result of that, they are able to help us to find, the right people. And then I interview 1 or 2 people a week. And, I hire about maybe 1 or 2 people a month. And so with John's resilience that serves him today, from the way that he grew up and his determination, it's really allowed for him to really be a vital leader in our sales network and in our organization. And it's allowed for him to be able to support us in our success so that we can, better grow, right? Because again, if you're not growing, you're dying. And so that's something that I believe is pretty important. So we found found John through Manila Craigslist, and now he manages all of our company's training, our hiring, and that allows for us to really be able to communicate with our team members effectively. And he ensures that we get 100% participation because we do a lot of video training. And so he's more of a manager, which allows for me to be a leader within the organization. And that allows, again, for us to be able to use our best talents. So checking in with the team members to be able to make sure that they're happy. That's another thing that John does. And to identify, potential challenges. He has a conversation with every single staff member once a week at a minimum, like an actual projected, like, okay, here we're going to make sure that we're seeing, where we are in the business. So many real estate agents, they do apply. They want to get more certainty in their business. So they apply to us. And John does the exploratory phone calls. He leads those. And, that's for agents that are looking for greater certainty, predictability in their business. And if you're interested, just email info@greetingsvirginia.com, put an exploratory call, and John will reach out to you to let you know when the next exploratory call is going to happen. Okay, our marketing team. So our marketing team, they support our real estate sales team to have a prominent online presence, and they help us with our online activities. So they focus on graphic design, they focus on spreading our material across social media, managing the website content, managing the websites, and really helping our marketing to have an omnipresence across the internet. So on a weekly basis, we meet with some of the top people in real estate sales across the country. We interview them on one of our forums, and the marketing team helps to organize that and helps us to develop marketing strategies so that we get high visibility to the general public and that we can effectively be able to promote our listings at a high level. They coordinate the social media campaigns, the client media, the client events, etc. And so they're really responsible for, systematically building raving fans and doing so in a manner that, it makes us look good, right? They do our brochures, our advertisements, the planning, the development, executing the marketing programs, direct mailings, webinars, publicity events, and that's what the marketing team does. They're really there to tell our story. It includes graphics. Boom! Do you see that great graphic that just came in here? I hope they caught that. They help us with our GetRockSolidCoaching.com website. They help us with initiatives online, interviewing, ads, Get Rock Solid training. We do a lot of training here locally and systematically communicating with our clients, because we mail to them once a month as well. We do 4 question and answer videos a month where we answer consumers' information and they put all that together for us. So the best way, I want to show you how we all communicate. So that's basically our staff. In addition to that, I mentioned to you that we have, let's see here, LRB, they answer our phone calls for us, and they are a local company to us in Alexandria, Virginia, and Streamline Business Solutions. Streamline Business Solutions, they do our bookkeeping for us, right? So they make sure that we are profitable. So those are some of the things that the virtual staff does. And in addition to having that full-time staff, we also have the part-time staff. So it's really important that you understand that when they can help you with things that are your 80%, then you can be able to focus on your 20%. Most people that I coach through this, they end up going with a company like My Outdesk. I think that's great. Like I said, we used them for years. I just have found that we have a better control to be able to hire directly. The amount of money you're going to be paying, is going to be anywhere from about $450 a month to about $1,100 or so a month. And, that's something that you should be prepared to be able to pay. You can always partner with an agent in the office with you. Hopefully you're in an office. And so let's say you got one virtual assistant, you're paying them $600 a month or so, $650. And you say, okay, well, let's go ahead and split that. And you get 20 hours, the other agent gets 20 hours, and you're able to increase your production and be able to, serve your clients better. So one thing that I would recommend to you is that you do set up one-on-one meetings with your people, with your virtual staff. You want to make sure you hold them accountable. You want to meet with them on a weekly basis, hold them to high standards so you can protect your culture. We do video chats. I wanted to show you, we do a lot of Google. So here's all of that's the Greetings Virginia general chat there. The client care is behind that. This is our agents talking. That's just a few members of the people on our team. And then you can see Julene and Tracy talking about some administrative stuff there. So we do a lot of video chats on Google Hangouts. We do a lot of chats on the video there. And it's really vital that you take the extra effort to talk to your people so that you can make sure that you're in relationship with them. Because when you're able to answer questions in real time, literally you can see people, you saw Frazier popping me up there. Like people all day long, there's a communication that's going on. I'll just randomly, okay, there's one from Julene and Kessa, right? They're talking about how to film a testimonial, right? So you can see, how we're in real time, we're communicating. It's even better than if we were in the office together because we do have the relationships by using the videos. So I do all these videos for free. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I wanted to make the very best video in real estate sales to be able to teach you how to use leverage, how to use massive leverage. And if you want for me to teach you something like how to build a bench of talent, leave a comment in the video. I'm putting all this content together so that you can enjoy being a part of the real estate family. If you like it, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell there. And if you're interested to learn how to sell more homes more easily, to be able to have a greater income predictability and know how you're going to eat next week, go ahead and take a look at our book, The Real Estate Sales Evolution, that I am publishing March 31st, 2020. But you can subscribe to the list right now to get on a preview so that you can find out how to get that book. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and I look forward to your success.
Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe to Get Rock Solid Coaching channel and stay ahead of the game.